Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Uh, Let me check if I should make a video on a particular topic today or I should talk about the random stuff that I'm usually doing related to English in my daily life. Alright, so if I make a video on a topic, so the topic says how to speak English without feeling nervous or judged. Basically, no hesitation, no fear, how to remove the fear or hesitation of, before speaking English. I've already said this n number of times that you just have to surround yourself by English. I mean, as much English as possible. Just read English, listen to a lot of English, and speak English on a daily basis. You just have to you just have to do all these things consistently. That's the most important thing. Even if you practice for 15 to 20 minutes a day, even combined practices of 20 minutes per day, both listening and speaking combined, still I'm completely okay with that as long as you are doing it consistently. As long as you do it on a daily basis, consistency is the biggest thing here, not just intensity. There is a saying that consistency beats intensity. You practice for, let's say, 5 hours today, and then you didn't practice for 5 weeks or even 5 days. That is not going to give you the value uh, which 20 minutes of practice per day will give you, right? So this is why consistency is always rated higher, and it will always be rated higher, because with consistency our brain starts to function in a particular way. Okay, yesterday I read this book. You already know that I purchased some storybooks, and one of the storybooks that I read yesterday, day before yesterday, was Jungle Book, and yesterday I read The Wolf of I'm sorry, The Wolf and the Seven Young Kids. Very nice story, to be very honest. One of the best stories I read so far, out of the four stories that I've read so far. So, what all stories I read so far? I read the Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. Then I read the Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Then I read this the Jungle Book. I am reading one story every single day. And yesterday I read The Wolf and the Seven Young Kids. And tomorrow, most probably, I'll be reading. Not tomorrow. Today, I'll be reading The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. Let's see how this turns up. I don't know. I don't have any idea about this story. I had some idea about the Aladdin story, the what was that? Alibaba story. I had some idea. I didn't have any idea about The Wolf and the Seven Young Kids. I also had the idea of the Jungle Book as well. But I don't have any idea about this, the Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. Uh, Once I'll read it, then only I'll get to know what the story is all about. So yeah, but I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying reading these stories. They're dedicatedly made for kids only. But as a kid, I've never read these type of story books. Even in Hindi, forget about English. I didn't read these stories even in Hindi. When I was small, I might have seen some cartoons or some shows on TV related to these stories, like Jungle Book, Mowgli. We used to see Mowgli, and uh, I definitely saw Aladdin cartoon. Uh, so definitely, it's a very popular story of Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. So definitely, I had the idea. I had some rough idea about this story, that there is a magical lamp. Once you rub it off, then a genie appears, and you can give your commands to the genie, and the genie just fulfills all those commands. And this Alibaba and 40 Thieves is another story that I've seen. As far as I remember, when I was small, I saw this story in Alif Laila, if I'm not mistaken. So in Alif Laila, it was televised as one of their stories, because they used to uh, telecast different stories in each and every single episode of theirs. So there I saw for the very first time Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, and I think there is a movie also. There is a Bollywood movie dedicatedly made on this story. I think Dharmendra, or I don't know if Jitendra is the actor, the lead actor in that movie, Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Uh, I saw that movie also up to some extent, not entirely. So yeah, uh, so reading these stories have definitely been fun, and I am not only I am enjoying the story, but at the same time, I'm simultaneously unknowingly working on my English also. I am getting to know at least 4 to 5 to 6 new words. I won't say completely new words. I have definitely heard those words, but I had almost no idea of those words. I didn't have the right meaning in my head, but after going through these stories, I got to uh, I got to have more idea about these words, which is definitely a plus, because my vocabulary will get strengthened. It is already getting strengthened, as I'll continue to do this with consistency, of course. So definitely, the command of the language and the vocabulary and everything, even the grammar structure, because these stories are uh, structured and written in a proper way, in a grammatically correct way, right? So your sentence structure also gets better, your vocabulary gets better while you're getting entertained. So I think there is nothing better than this. And this is what I would suggest to you guys also. Whenever you are reading something, instead of going for the books which are suggested on internet, that these are must read books, and you should read them, these are the top books and this is the bestseller book. I think instead of going for that narrative, you should read about things or read about stories that you are interested in. Many people may call me a fool, after knowing that, okay, I purchased kids books for myself. I don't have any kids, I don't have any kids in my house even. So I just bought these books for myself, and I don't have any shame. I'm saying this thing publicly, because I just want to read what I like reading, right? So that's what I suggest you also. Pick up the topics which you are interested. Even if you are going for a self-help book, go for a topic that you are interested in. Let's say you are into business and you want to learn something related to business. You want to execute something related to business after learning through the book. So go for a business book that you are interested in, or you find. I mean, nowadays, we can read the samples also. Nowadays, on Amazon, not only physical books are available, ebooks are also available. And before purchasing any ebook, you can read a sample, you can read few pages of that book which Amazon provides as an option to you. So you can definitely read the books, and you can read something related to that book on internet. You can watch videos related to that particular book or books, whatever you are interested in, and then you can buy those books, be it self-help books, be it story books, or any damn thing. uh, I bought these 10 books. I have another book that I already talked about in my videos, 151 Akbar Birbal stories. I've not even touched this book. I mean, of course, I've literally touched this video, but not video this book. But I have not read even a single story, because firstly, I'm going through these 10 individual storybooks only, and I'm enjoying it. Yes, they are interesting. They definitely are interesting. Uh, you know, I had this belief in my head that reading books is boring and everything. When I was small, I used to read comics sometimes. Hindi comics, Commando, Dhruv, and everything, and I enjoyed them. Truly, yes, I enjoyed them. If you are reading something that you are interested in, trust me, reading is a very interesting thing. It makes you imagine about the scenarios of the story that you are reading. uh, and you go into your own visualization world and imaginary world while reading the book. A movie starts to play in your head, and that is some unique experience and a very good experience. It definitely doesn't happen with the self-help books, because self-help books are basically what? They are nothing but courses, right? They are teaching you something. But storybooks, most of them are fictional, and even if they are, based on reality, but when you read them and if you have an interest in those stories, so you just, start to imagine. Our brain works like this only. When you're reading a story, so your brain starts to visualize, like, there was a goat, and that goat had 7 kids. They used to live in a cottage, near the border of a deep forest. So our brain starts to imagine, starts to visualize those scenarios while reading, and that experience is absolutely different. Yes, I used to consider those people fool who used to say these similar things which I am saying right now, but that's the reality. Our brain functions this way only, and this is why reading fiction, reading stories, uh, you know m- makes you feel so good. And this is why, probably, I'm just assuming, this is why the readers become even stronger readers. And I think that is why they are called avid readers. Although I don't know the meaning of avid, but avid, by the context, I can say avid means uh, someone who is heavily dedicated to something or heavily interested in something, right? Um so yeah, maybe that might be the reason why people start reading more and more, when they start reading good books or the books of their own interest, and when they start enjoying it. I think that is exactly what is happening with me, and I think it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing, and I want to become an even bigger fan of reading day by day. Yeah, so that I read more and more, and not only I'll be getting more knowledge and information through this book. At the same time, my English will also get better and better and better with time, because reading definitely helps. But reading helps only when you practice speaking. See, the most important thing is listening always. There is no doubt about it. Even if you don't read a single word in your life, still you can start speaking a language just by listening to it. See, the history of languages go back up to at least 60 to 70,000 years ago. That was the time, 60 to 70,000 years ago, when people started speaking complex languages, as complex languages as we speak nowadays. Of course, the languages were different, but the complexity nowadays we have in our languages, that we can talk about any almost any damn thing of this world. There are phrases and words and everything related or based on those particular words, and I mean, you can explain any damn thing. The complexity is there. So 60 to 70,000 years ago, this sort of complexity had arrived in languages. So people were speaking proper languages. So this is how old our languages are, 60 to 70,000 years old. But the writing phenomena came only 5,000 or 6,000 years ago at max. So writing is only 5,000 years old, but languages arrived at least 50 to 60,000 years ago. People started speaking languages 50 to 60,000 years ago. Writing came only 5,000 years ago, and because writing came 5,000 years ago, then only people started reading, because you cannot read what is not written, right? I mean, oh, you can hear a sound. If there is no sound, what can you hear? Now, don't tell me you can hear the sound of silence. I think that's a meditation related or spirituality related thing, if I'm not mistaken. So keep that thing aside. But if there is some sound, if there's some noise, then only we can hear it. If something is written there, then only we can read it. So reading came way, way, way later, and it's a way recent, way new phenomena. But languages are there. So before, no writing was there, no reading was there, people were speaking languages, which is why I, not just me, biology also backs it up, the language experts also back it up, that in order to become a speaker of a language, you just have to listen to that language as much as possible every single day. The more you listen to the language, the faster you will acquire it, and the faster you will also start speaking that language. But of course, you'll start speaking a language only when you start practice speaking that language, right? You must have seen a very small child, a newborn child, that small child up to the age of 2 or 3, till whatever time it starts to speak. During that entire time, that kid just continues to listen to the language. That kid just consumes the language, right, for that long period. And once the kid gets the ability to start speaking, then only it starts to speak. Of course, it makes mistakes. Of course, initially nothing out of his or her mouth makes any sense, but of course the parents somewhat try to understand it, and gradually they correct him or her, and eventually and gradually the kid starts speaking, right? How it started speaking? Because for a very long period of time it consumed the language, it listened to that very language. All right, I'm already 14 minutes plus into this video, and I didn't even realize it. I think that's a very good thing. That is indeed a very good thing, that you don't realize what you are doing. I mean, you don't realize how quickly the time went when you're doing something. It also means that whatever you are doing is something that you have good amount of heart and mind into it, and I think it's a very good thing, rather than those things which you do for 10 minutes, and when you check the clock, you see only 1 minute has gone by or 2 minutes have gone by. It simply means that you are not enjoying that particular thing. Time is going, or seems to be going, very slow. Okay, guys, I'm done with this video. I don't have anything today. I'm also running short of time. I have to do a lot of stuff, a lot of work today, and I don't know whether I'll be able to complete it or not. I will try to, but I just have to put some good quality also in that work. So I just can't rush. I just can't finish it just for the sake of finishing it. So I just have to give some good mind and quality to it as well. Thank you so much. If you want to have one-on-one speaking practice session with me, if you want to have me as your buddy, as your partner of speaking, you can check out the links in the description and in the pinned comment of this video. I am someone who couldn't frame even a single sentence in English. My English was zero. Yes, it was zero. My confidence in English was zero. So I've come from that time, from that condition, from that situation. All right, so please do check out the links if you want to have conversation with me, and if you want to say any damn thing, you can leave that down into the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.